The sixth and penultimate stage of the only World Tour race for men in the Middle East, the UAE Tour, would take the riders over a 168-kilometer ride to the Jebel Hafeet climb, the traditional curtain-closing climb in this particular event, and a final GC appointment for the riders. And for Antonio Tiberi, significant day in his career as he looked to preserve a 21-second advantage on general classification over Isaac Del Toro and the rest. Sylvain Dillier, resplendent in the intermediate sprints classification jersey. Jonathan Milan, the green jersey holder, as leader of the points classification. And Leonard van Eetvelt, wearing white, looking after that white jersey on behalf of the young rider leader Antonio Tiberi as the riders race through kilometre zero, 168 kilometres in front of them. And it was a long battle for the early break of the day. Attacks firing from the early moments. Two riders racing clear. Initially thought that they might form the early break of the day. Pellegrini and Kessler were called to account though. Then a significant group assembled at the front. 9 riders clear of the field, and some big engines in there. Stefan Bissiger, Josh Tarling, and other strong riders opening up a little bit of daylight on the peloton. 2 riders trying to bridge the gulf. Callum Thornley finding himself unable to quite make the junction with Nick Sikowski. They drop back into the clutches of the main group. The 9 riders up front foraging clear in the first 2 hours of racing, covered at an average speed of more than 51 kilometers per hour. Through to the first of 2 intermediate sprints along the way. Axel Wens adjudged to have taken the 8 points on offer. No rider in the break in contention for that jersey. Wayne Doole deciding that there was little value in staying in the breakaway, which he felt wasn't going to last through to the end of the day. Jonathan Milan with minor malfunction. Technical issues addressed. Up front, Stefan Bissiger pressed hard on the pedals. The advantage of the breakaway group pared back to just over half a minute at one stage. And everyone working to stay hydrated and stay cool in the desert heat. Mercury rising to over 30 degrees Celsius on the race from Al Ain to Jebel Hafeet. Chris Harper among those most seriously implicated by that crash, as the breakaway once again opened up an advantage north of 2 minutes. On the approach to the final climb of the day, Jebel Hafeet, 10.8 kilometers in total, and the second and final intermediate sprint of the day. Riders rolling through green Mubazara in the foothills of Jebel Hafeet. Johan Jacobs at the front of a breakaway group, pushing hard to stay in contention and sending Axel Wens on with his best wishes. Into the business end of the climb, Felix Gall, Antonio Tiberi and Isaac Del Toro among the lead group. Josh Tarling trying to lead Peter Oxenberg, his teammate, as far up the climb as possible before they were overhauled by the big GC guns. Lead group led by Adam Yates, twice a winner on Jebel Hafeet, now in the service of Isaac Del Toro. Felix Gall going on the attack, bringing with him Harold Terrada, as behind Ilan van Wilder hit the deck, and Remco Evenepoel already being distanced. Yates is setting the tempo, trying to put Tiberi under as much pressure as possible before Isaac Del Toro launched the first major salvo. Tiberi, the only rider that could follow the Mexican national champion. The red jersey staying in contention into the final 3 kilometers before Del Toro attacked again and opened up some daylight to the fading Antonio Tiberi. Mexican fans out to support their man under the kite and into the final kilometer, working hard to overturn his 21-second deficit. Tiberi starting to fade, overhauled first by Luke Plapp and then by Felix Gall on the run to the line. Del Toro pushing through the final few hundred meters to open up the maximum lead and reclaim the overall race leadership. The stage 1 winner, adding to his total, rounding the final bend to take the 23rd victory of his fledgling career. Stage honours for Isaac Del Toro, and with it the overall race leadership. Antonio Tiberi fighting a rearguard action, 4th across the line, just over half a minute in arrears, now out of red. Glory for Del Toro, disappointment for Antonio Tiberi after a nonetheless otherwise great week.
Enjoy your moment now, Isaac.
Del Toro wins.
Congrats guys, congrats. Isaac won the stage. Oh. Amazing guys, super good.
Luke Plapp getting up for second on the day ahead of Felix Gall in the final podium position. And now a 20-second advantage heading into the final day of racing for Isaac Del Toro over Antonio Tiberi. Del Toro also leading the points classification. Jonathan Milan is going to have to come up with a top 5 finish to unseat Del Toro from the green jersey. And Del Toro also leads the young rider category by that 20-second margin from Tiberi. And Sylvain Dillier has an unassailable advantage in the battle for the intermediate sprint.